Yeah, we can talk anything. Yeah, what's up, Prince Pirelli, 55, Jay Sum. It's a couple of people popped in, and
What's up, little
and
guy? Ask him what shape the Earth is.
Blake, is the Earth round or flat?
Round.
He said round.
Well, that's what he's taught in school. Tell him not to believe everything he's taught.
They showed you that in school?
Oh no, it was what's that game called?
The game showed you?
Yeah, it's I don't know what it's called. I think it's called System Smash.
System Smash.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
It said it showed the Earth was round.
Yes, it's round.
Oh, okay. It might not be. It might be flat.
It
It is.
See, they get the kids young, man. They get the kids young. They get us before we can talk. This is the biggest lie ever. You build your whole world foundation on it, and you get to a point in life where you could be shown, like I'm going to show you guys today, so many facts, and then you still can't let it go because your whole foundation is built around this idea that you live on a spinning ball flying through a space vacuum. It's insane, dude.
Yeah, it is. I mean, when you think about it, because that's what they should like. And then you can't go back to your family and say, okay, hey, the Earth is flat.
No, you can't.
Look at you like you crazy.
They jump down your throat. But for those people listening now and says, all right, Booker finally lost his mind. He's talking to this flat Earth crazy dude. I'm offering 2 Bitcoins for 1 proof of the globe. All right. So listen to the show. And if you have 1 proof of the globe, you get 2 Bitcoins. All right. That's like 70 grand today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's how confident I am that no one has any proof of the globe. And then think about this. If you don't have any proof of the globe, not even 1, what does that mean? You know what that means? It means the Earth isn't a globe. All right. So here, Booker, you have behind you what I call mind control propaganda. That photo, that painting is not what flat Earth is. If I thought flat Earth was what's behind you, then yeah, you're right. I am crazy. Okay. Because that's not flat Earth. All right. We're not a disc floating in space. That's a cartoon. Well, you're above me here. I don't know, maybe you're over there for other people who are over there. That's a cartoon. This is a video from a balloon we set up to 120,000 feet. Look at the sun. It's right there. It's right local over the flat Earth. Okay. So once you understand what the helio nonsensical model is and what flat Earth isn't, then you'll start to see. He wants to tell you the Earth is round. Kids are the toughest, man. So real quick. So if the Earth isn't a disc floating in space like that cartoon you have behind you, what is it? And if you Google flat Earth, you end up with this. This is not what flat Earth is. It's not a pancake floating in a heliocentric solar system.
Yeah.
Or a whole bunch of flat pancake planets. Nobody believes that. The only people that believe that are people that are globers that don't know what flat Earth is. They think flat earthers think that's flat Earth. And that is not the case at all. So what the hell is flat Earth if it's not that? The way I look at it is we live in what I call the Antarctic Basin. There's an extended Earth plane, the foundation of the universe. It's kind of the only way I can describe it. And we live within a pond within that foundation. So you imagine Kansas, just for a smaller model, flat Kansas. And there's a giant lake, maybe 100 miles around. Okay. And in that lake, there's all of these islands. All of the islands are surrounded by water, but the lake is surrounded by Kansas. Kansas is the container for the lake. Okay. So you can sail all the way around, but you sail to the edge of the lake. You don't fall off. You step up onto the land. Well, our world is surrounded by the land that we call Antarctica. Antarctica is the highest land on Earth. It is the container for our world pond. You ask what's out here in this outer space versus this inner space? Well, we don't know because no one's allowed to go beyond this pink line. It's off limits to everybody, every country, every corporation. Nobody is allowed independent exploration beyond 60 degrees south. Why the hell is that? Admiral Byrd flew out there in the 1950s, and he said there's land bigger than the United States, filled with resources. that no human has ever set eyes upon. And then immediately, right after that, they come up with the Antarctic Treaty. All of these countries in the world, a bunch of countries signed on. They have all signed on now. The Antarctic Treaty. Nobody is allowed to independently explore out there, period. You can't even question the treaty until the year 2040, supposedly. And if you try to go there, you'll be stopped by force. Your ship will be sunk. You'll be turned around. You'll be sent home. And then you'll be jailed. And that's what happens. What are they hiding in Antarctica?
Yeah. Okay. So why can't we go past that line, that barrier on the outline?
Well, they say it's to protect the penguins and the ice, right? We must protect the ice. It's pristine, and we can't disturb the migrational path of the penguins. It's all nonsense. Okay. You know, at a time in the 1950s where all the countries are fighting each other for resources and stuff, everybody agrees that we can't go to Antarctica. It's ridiculous. And people just believe it. It's insane. It's insane. Anybody in chat that has a question as we go along, but I'm sure Booker has a few questions as we start. And then you'll see if you guys hang out long enough, you too will lose the respect of your family and friends because you'll be a flat earther when I'm done with you.
Let's see, what's the questions? What questions do everybody have right now?
Don't you have some?
Let's see. I have many. I thought, you was going to show us a couple of things because I don't understand that. One thing that I found out, this was like years ago, is why don't they have a real picture of the planet?
Yeah, well, because there is no planet, and people think photos. That's it. There's photos. Well, NASA admits they don't even have any photos. These are two different photos of Earth. Well, this is the United States. It's hard to see here, but look at the size of the United States there. It's absolute ridiculousness, right? The photo that was on everyone's iPhone when it first came out is called the blue marble, but it's Photoshop. The clouds are stepped and repeated. They use the same clouds. They're lazy Photoshoppers. Okay. It's horrible. You look at they came out with this a few years later. Look at the United States, twice the size. All right. It's absolute nonsense. And if people will defend it, well, it's a different camera lens. It's closer to the Earth. You're not really seeing the edge. That is ridiculous. That is nonsense. And NASA even admits that they don't have any photos of Earth. Okay. Good.
Somebody said, what's your thoughts on Antarctica?
Yeah, well, I think so. Again, there's plenty. I don't need to go to Antarctica, to speculate on what's out there, but I love to, and I will. We can prove the Earth is flat by what's right here under our feet. But but one thing they showed us. This was a 1978 picture, and in 2017 they showed us how the pollution of the world is dimming our world. This is what they showed us. Yeah, but the clouds never changed. Look at the clouds. They're the same clouds. They're too lazy to make new clouds. Okay. This is from NASA.
At least the blue planet looks blue on this one, and that one looks kind of dark.
Yeah, well, they're saying it's because of pollution. And look at this. We can't verify anything that NASA shows us, but we can verify things here on Earth. We can drive across Mexico and Baja and figure out that this is 934 miles. Well, they're showing us this. The diameter of the Earth, the diameter, straight line through the Earth, 7,917 miles. I should be able to fit 8.5 of these between these two red lines. 8.5 of them. Can't even fit them in my screen. Okay? Something's wrong. Yeah. You know what's wrong? This is a painting. Okay. So what's possibly beyond Antarctica? And I like to call it the outer space. Okay. What's out here? Well,
yeah, that's what people want to know.
Here's a map that was found in Hawaii, Japanese map, and it's showing like 30 other continents out here. Okay. 30 other continents. Some other people speculate that maybe it's like this. We live here, like in this inner ring, and there's another realm out here in the outer ring, in the outer space. And if this is extra land, what's extra is more, land is territory, extra terra. If somebody came visiting us from out there to in here, they would be an extraterrestrial coming from outer space. Very simple. The
Ah,
words are right in
and-
front of us.
And I always said that and figured that, okay, because everything that comes in here is like literally from here, and I'm like going.
They probably speak English, Booker. They probably speak English. Okay. I mean, there's a story called the Iron Republic, where it's a story about people in the sixth. Well, it's a senator in the early 1800s or late 1800s, early 1900s, took a boat to Antarctica, made it through one of the openings, and ended up in this extra land out here. And there was found a civilization out there, an advanced civilization, in late 1800s, early 1900s. And they had flat screens, electric floating cars, all sorts of tech that we barely have today. And they were writing about it in the story. Great story. You can it's on YouTube. You can buy the book. It's I'll show you where that is later. But that's what I think is beyond Antarctica. I don't know. Maybe it's just a barren wasteland. Maybe there's other puddles. Maybe 10,000 miles away, or 100,000 miles away, or 5,000 miles away. There's another puddle, a whole nother world.
Yeah, that's what somebody said. They said a lady crossed it and found, and she was found buried and frozen.
Yeah,
and
that's a fake story.
She wrote.
It's a fake story.
Is it? Oh my God.
So here's the thing. This is how people go, what about circumnavigation? This is going to blow your mind if you haven't seen this. Okay. The way circumnavigation works in the flat earth, the north, the magnetic north is in the center. You with me?
Yeah.
You with me? So in the center right here is the magnetic north. And the sun and the moon, as you can see in here, circle around the magnetic north. I'm just trying to find a video to show you a demonstration. Where the heck is my video? And so any direction away from north is south. So south is that way. South is that way. South is every way away from the magnetic center. Because you think about how a compass works, the compass is going to point towards the north. And when you walk away from the north, you're walking south. Very upset that I can't find my video.
Do those two the sun and the moon circling? At times you see them both in the sky at the same time. Does that have something to do with this?
Well, so the sun circles once every 24 hours. The moon circles once every 23 hours and just under 20, like almost an hour less. So the sun will lap the moon every 28 days. You with me on that?
Yeah.
So the position of the sun, the position of the moon. Here it is. Found it. So here, I'll get into that in a second. I'll show you that. So here's the magnetic north. Here's my compass. The needle is pointing towards the north. Okay. I'm trying to push it west, but west is a circle because I have to keep turning to maintain a magnetic direction of west. See that? If I went straight, it wouldn't work. So now I'm going to push it east. Needle's pointing towards the center. East is not this way. East is this way, a circle. Do you see that?
Whoa.
Okay, now if I try to dead reckon west, ready? I'm going to dead reckon west and I'm not going to turn. I'm going to follow that straight line. Boom, I'm going south. Every straight line goes south. The needle should turn a little more. The magnet's not strong enough, but it's south. Here's the magnetic north. South is that way. South is that way. All of these lines are radiating out. They're all south. Now, if I try to go south, I'm not going to pop up on the other side like you would on a ball, right? Because you go down, you cross over Antarctica, and you pop up on another ball. But if you go south, you just keep going away, and you don't come back. That's why, there's been, so right now I'm going north. As soon as I pass the North Pole, I'm going south. The compass just did a 180, right? That's why billions of people have circumnavigated east and west. This is what they tell us it is. 0 people have done it south. Why the hell is that? 0. Okay. You with me?
Yeah, I'm no, you didn't lose me. I'm just like, I'm kind of amazed because I didn't watch stuff on Flat Earth, but I never seen this information.
Yeah, you're not going to find this information. You go Google Flat Earth, you're going to end up at the Flat Earth Society. That is a government-run disinformation site. Just ask Obama. He plugged it a half a dozen times in his presidency. They want you to go there because the Flat Earth Society is disinformation. It's nonsense. If you read the stuff there, you'll just never look at Flat Earth again. You'll go, oh my God, those Flat Earthers are crazy. And that's what they want you to see. They want you to think that Flat Earthers think that the Earth is rising at 9.8 meters per second. So one of the things that would prove that the Earth is a ball is southern circumnavigation. So there's this one pilot, it's called the ZQ pilot. He was going to do a pole-to-pole circumnavigation. So he starts up here at the North Pole. He goes down to Alaska, California, goes over here to these islands, over here to Santiago. Then he goes down. He makes it all the way to the South Pole, reportedly. There is no South Pole. And he said the weather was too bad. He had to turn around. So he turned around. He came back, went up through Brazil and up here, East Coast, and boom. And we're like, oh, well, that didn't work out, you know? And the Guinness Book gave him the world record for southern circumnavigation. Does that look like circumnavigation? Because this is what it looks like on a real map. He just went down here. He touched the goalpost. He turned around. He came back. Okay. So this is not circumnavigation. Circumnavigation would be leaving Santiago and magically popping up over here in Australia. Never happens because they're at the opposite end of the world pond.
What about the lady that flew the airplane like all the way around the Earth?
Amelia Earhart?
Yeah.
Amelia Earhart did the same thing that I just showed you. And I have a little map showing her trip. Here it is. She went around. This is east. She's traveling east. Remember, the compass always has to point towards the center. She's basically going east all the way around, and she made it back. Bam. East circumnavigation, west circumnavigation, done billions of times. Billions.
So she actually did go around the Earth.
She went around the pond. She sailed around. You can circle clockwise or counterclockwise. You can't go around because that doesn't exist. If she wanted to go south, if she went down here and magically popped over here, well, flat Earth would be dead. Earth would be a ball. But that's not the case. Nobody has ever done that. I mean, southern circumnavigation should be easy, right? Santiago, over here, Australia. That's the shortest route. You know, you don't want to disturb the penguins, so I just go around here, right? Bam. That would be the shortest route. But that's not the route that they take. You want to see how they fly from Santiago to Australia? From Santiago, instead of just taking that little short route I showed you, they go all the way up here, all the way across, and all the way back down, right? If you wanted to go to Western Australia, check this route out. It goes all the way up, all the way over to friggin' China, Japan, and Singapore, and down. Okay. Why would it go all the way like that? And the answer is very simple. Let me show you that Western route. It goes all the way up across China, Singapore, Western Australia. Straight line. Airplanes fly straight and level over an earth plane. The sea is level, not sea curve, sea level. Water is a natural level. The earth is 70% water. Large bodies of water at rest lay flat. The earth is 70% water. Where's the curve? No curve, no ball.
So, okay. So if that's the case, if it's not flat, how many rings are on the outer layers?
We don't know because we're not allowed to go there. We can speculate. You know, I kind of like pond theory. Maybe there's other ponds out there. Maybe there's trillions of other ponds. You know, maybe, you know, if you believe in God, God is infinite, you know, God, you know, people like say, you know, the infinite universe, right? The thing is, they don't want you understanding that this place is intelligently designed. Okay. They don't want you. They want you spinning out of control, lost in space. Booger, you, before we talked, you know, you got a pretty open mind, but let's take a little, I call it the helio-nonsensical quiz. Okay. Let's see if you get 3 questions right. How many times does the earth spin per day?
I didn't think it, 3 times?
Once a day.
Like 3 times?
Yeah, it goes
they say it's going,
a day. It goes around once a day.
They said it's going fast.
How fast are you spinning if you're on the equator? 1,000 miles an hour. How fast is it orbiting the sun, right? It's orbiting the sun. How fast is that speed?
don't know. I'm not sure.
66,600 miles an hour. How fast is it chasing the sun? Because the sun is trying to get away, but the planets are chasing and
Wait.
keeping up with it beautifully. Over 500,000 miles per hour. Here's the thing. I'm not accusing you of this because
How'd they come up with these
I can see you
speeds?
processing. The fact that we tried to
Processing
figure
this
out
weed.
Zoom for 90 minutes and you didn't blow your freak out. I give you a lot of credit. All of those things are happening, and the people that laugh at flat earthers have no idea of their own model, right?
Yeah, because they got this cartoon right here.
They're shown cartoons. Why do you believe the earth is a ball? Well, I've been shown cartoons my whole life about it. They tell me stuff and they show me cartoons. They show me CGI nonsense. And NASA is just complete and total nonsense. It's mind control to make you think that you live here when in fact you live here. Well, why the lie? Why would they lie? And the lie is they're hiding more resources. They're hiding more land. They're hiding who you truly are. They're hiding the power of your mind, how you can manifest things in this crazy, insane, amazing world that we live in. They don't want you to know that you have power. The only power the elite have over you, especially during this nonsense that's been going on for the last 15, 18 months or whatever, is in your imagination. Imagine if everybody woke up tomorrow or tonight and said, screw it, we're not listening to them anymore. We're going to do our own thing. Well, they'd be done. They'd be finished. They'd have zero power. The only power they have is in your imagination.
And they're using it against us.
They're using it against us. Well, why would they do that? They look at us as useless eaters. We are the slaves, okay? We are the slaves of the system. They've got us believing that we have freedom. We get to vote left and right. Well, it's two arms, same monster, right? Same thing. They've divided us up by countries. All the countries, that's division. There's no separation. The countries, they all work together. It's all nonsense. There may be some like rogue states and shit going on, but this is all division because if they divide us, divide and conquer, they divided us up by countries, by races, by color, by religion, by political parties, by sports teams, now vaxxed, unvaxxed. They've just got us divided because when we're divided, we lose our power. Then they give us arenas to get out our frustrations and cheer for the winning team. We won, the team won, we're successful. That's just to release your mind to make you think that that we are victorious because your team won. It's all bread and circuses. It's all mind control.
See, it makes a lot of sense because even the fact that they always try to tell us the world is overpopulated, and it's like, no, y'all got everybody bunched in these cities.
Right. You ever fly across the United States or drive across?
Yeah, I drove.
Ain't nothing out there, man. Some
yeah,
McDonald's,
nothing.
some trucks, a Motel 6.
I said it so many times. I said you see so much barren land, and it's like they've got you bunched in a city. Stay here.
They got us believing in nonsense, right? And denying our common sense, right? If here's the thing. It's easier to lie to somebody than to convince them they've been lied to. Well, this is a big one because you were convinced that the earth was a ball before you can talk. All the children's programming, you go to school, your teacher, who's a god to you, has a globe in the front of their class. The first worksheet you bring home is about the orbits of the planets. Okay, the planets and the moons, and you got to figure the whole thing out. That is just building the foundation of life, and then everything, your whole worldview is over that. Go turn on a TV, globes. Everything you watch has globes in it. Every single thing has globes. The astronauts, oh my God, they're so great. They walked on the moon. They're liars. No one's been to outer space because outer space does not exist.
And you know what was the most special thing, though, that they showed you and gave you that was kind of showing you that the earth was flat was that little Christmas globe that was flat on the bottom, and then it had the little round circle on top.
Right. Absolutely. There's a Pixar cartoon. I forget the name of it, but it's literally the story of it shows the whole flat earth. It's right in your face. And that's another thing they do. They love putting it in our face. They love telling us the truth. Right. Let me show you how seasons work. I want to show you my app. I have an app, and I made it so people can learn about the flat earth and bypass the YouTube algorithm. You with me? Yeah. Can you see that? Can you see my app here?
Yeah, I see it.
All right. So This is called the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. And I'm going to show you how it works. And I'm going to show you something pretty cool. Right? The sun goes around once every 24 hours. It's the hour hand of the clock. You know, they gave us clocks, but they said, hey, let's not make it that easy for them. Make the clock go around twice a day instead of once a day. Well, wherever the sun is, it's noon. And right now, the sun is not attached to the hour hand. Can you guess why?
Why?
Because we're in daylight savings time. That's another thing to throw off we're connected to this earth. They don't want us to know what time it is. When the time is off, you're off balance, right? So we're in daylight savings time. If it was, the real time is an hour earlier than they tell us it is. So the sun is showing you where noon is. The moon, as I said before, the sun goes around once a day. The moon goes around once every, it laps the moon once every 28 days. So right now when it's opposed, we're hitting a full moon right there. And then the sun will start catching up to the moon again. The moon will start waning. And so the moon's phase and position basically tells you the weeks of the month. There used to be 13 months, but they changed it to 12 months. There's 13 months of 28 days, right? So this is how the sun and the moon pass. Now, I'll slow it down, and the stars, let me slow it down. The stars spin around on their wheel. The wheels in the sky keep on turning, right? The stars are going just slightly faster than the sun. What that means is they lap the sun once a year. So right now, the sun is moving into the Tropic of Cancer because Cancer is catching up to the sun. It's got to go around about 28 times for Cancer to proceed to Leo, okay? So right now, we're entering the Tropic of Cancer, which is our summer. Where are you located? What state?
California.
So you're in California. I'm in Connecticut. We're approaching the heat of our summer. But if you look where the sun is, it's over that inner yellow line. That's the Tropic of Cancer. You've heard that before, but he never understood what it was. It's over the Tropic of Cancer because it's over the Tropic of Cancer, or really under it. We're looking at it from top down. But you see, right now it's going over Miami. It's friggin' hot in Miami because the sun is overhead. It's close. It's passing Southern California. It's really hot there because the sun is close over our head. Well, the people in Australia, it's colder there because the sun is farther away. If I jump 6 months forward, the sun migrates out to the Tropic of Capricorn. And look, now it's hot in Australia because the sun is over their head, and we're having our winter because it's colder, right? Southern California,
Wow.
you still get your winter because the sun is farther away. Southern Africa is having their summer. Central South America is having their summer. Okay. And we're having our winter. Florida's still warm because it's still not too far away. But up here where I am in Connecticut, it gets friggin' cold. And it's just because the sun is small and local, and it moves far away. If you and I were sitting outside in a freezing cold, sitting out in the snow, 15 feet apart, and somebody held a heat lamp 10 feet over your head, you'd be like, and you look up and you feel the heat and it's directly over you. I'd see that heat lamp and it would be lower in the sky for me because it's farther away and I'd barely feel the heat. Then if they move that heat lamp over to me, you would see it lower. I would see it higher. I'd be warm. You'd be cold. That's how seasons work. Seasons make no sense on flat Earth. So here's the challenge for people. You're getting it, right? You're listening, man. I like it when people listen.
You can't do nothing but laugh because it's like, wow.
Yeah, because truth resonates. Lies destroy your health, right? They want our health destroyed, and they're doing many things to destroy it. I don't want to say them on YouTube. But when you live a lie spinning out of control, that might be the reason that we only live 90, 100 years, or whatever, 80 to 100 years. Maybe if we were living in truth, we'd have longer lives. Who knows? But here is the challenge for everybody. Every day, there's a new featured video that shows up here, okay? And I say, watch the featured video every day for 2 weeks. You tap that, it opens up YouTube. You open up the YouTube app, bam. And you watch the video every day for 2 weeks. At the end of that 2 weeks, if you think that the earth is a globe, send me one proof and you win 2 Bitcoins. But before you do, you got to hit this button right here, the question mark, because you open up that question mark and every single question that you're going to ask comes up. What about eclipses? Why would they lie? What about seasons, which I just talked about, right? If you hit why would they lie, up comes YouTube. Opens up. You just got to wait. Open up the YouTube app. And up comes a playlist of videos that Google doesn't want you to see. These videos, as I said earlier, will make you lose the respect of your family and friends because you'll be a flat earther. Okay. All of the stuff that you need is in here. All of the questions are answered and all sorts of stuff. It has tons of other resources. Our interview will be right here under interviews. After you post our interview, it goes here in an interview list. If you want to see more of my interviews, you just hit that, and up come the interviews I've been doing, and they just go on and 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 on. All right. And that's that there, because people kind of are able to do that. A new addition is here, the Lost History of Flat Earth. If you start watching that, bring food and water. Make sure you called your boss, tell him you won't be in for 2 days, and and you are gonna lose your mind. Right? Over here, I have books, all sorts of flat Earth books. Right? If you're a book person, and as I said earlier, Top Middle, the Iron Republic. That's the story I told you. Amazing, amazing book. You could also listen to it on YouTube. Just search for it.
Republic.
Right. And then another one, 16 emergency landings that prove flat Earth. When we get out of the app, I'll show you some emergency landing, which proves that the Earth is flat. Also, tons of images. And when you're talking to somebody trying to show them about flat Earth, you go like, hey, do you think we went to the moon in this thing? This is the moon lander. Okay. Look at that. If you had to order the parts of that, would you call Lockheed Grumman or would you call the Arts and Crafts Center? Okay.
I'm not going.
Yeah. Then you get some paper.
I'm not getting on that.
Right. Tons and tons of stuff. I'm actually looking for another image in here that you'll like.
I'm not getting on that thing.
Yeah. Well, that's what the guys that went to the moon and played golf, and there was a car in that thing at one point. They took the car off. They dune buggied around. I mean, it's complete and total nonsense. I showed you how the compass worked before. This is the compass. East and west are circles. South is every direction away from the center, right?
And why do they keep us like what you say, an hour ahead of time or something like that?
Just to throw off. Listen, if I told you right now that it's an hour later than you thought it was, you kind of off kilter a little bit. We're tuned to this Earth. We can only live here on this Earth. We can't live in outer space for two reasons. One, outer space doesn't exist. And two, we're electrical beings. We're connected to this Earth. This Earth is alive. We're alive. We're part of the same system. And when people realize that, you walk around barefoot, you connect to the Earth. The Earth, the Earth gives you free electrons. We're part of the Earth. So there you go. Last thing is, I'll just show you. This is the wind map. You know how they showed us the trade winds?
Yeah.
This is the wind map at 40,000 feet. Beautiful. Look at those beautiful counter-rotating circles. It doesn't do this crazy sine wave. And those white and pink areas, those are going 200 miles an hour, maybe even faster. And so airplanes can take advantage of those routes and make great distances in less time than people would think.
So the closer you get to the center, the slower it gets.
Well, it actually changes at times. So, if you wanted to go, Santiago's over here, right? They might even fly up here and then catch this and then head over, right? But also the plane that does the direct flight from Santiago to Australia, it's a special plane. It's only run by 4 military pilots, and I believe this plane probably goes 1,000 miles an hour, and that's how they fake it. And guess who's in charge of all of the plane routes and the radar and the GPS? NASA. The liars at NASA.
NASA control everything.
Right. Are you
Somebody
aware?
was just saying that in the chat.
What did they say?
They were saying that NASA was in control of a lot of the way the planes fly and their routes and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me show you the one emergency landing, which is very, very interesting. So here's a flight from Taiwan to where you are, Los Angeles, right, or California. And right about here near Hawaii, there was an emergency that someone having a baby or something like that, or having a heart attack, whatever it was. They needed to land immediately. You're a pilot. Where are you going to land?
Hawaii.
Yeah. What is Hawaii says, no, our hospitals are full. Don't come here.
Well,
Which isn't going to happen. Probably, maybe there.
Yeah, Los Angeles.
Thousands of miles out of the way to Alaska? Probably not, except this is the real flight route. Taiwan emergency, Alaska. Hawaii is all the way out here. Okay. This is the actual route that they take.
Yeah, because it wouldn't have made no sense to land in Alaska, because
Right,
then
so-
you would have had to go back that same distance to get to LA.
Right. So this book here has documented 16 emergency landings. You know, we get the information. We're like, oh my God, where does this land? Where was it going? When did it happen? How far into the flight? And the guy calculated everything, and they make all 16 make 0 sense. They're absolutely insane on a globe Earth, and they make perfect sense on a flat Earth. How many times does this have to happen before you realize that we don't live on a globe? Right? It's insane. I mean, the whole idea of flying over a spinning globe is the dumbest thing ever. You would have to nose down. In the course of an hour, the horizon would drop 30 miles. You'd be 30 miles higher, considering you only fly at 5 miles high. You'd be 30 miles higher if the pilot didn't keep nosing down. Okay?
They about to have
Over a
many
spinning
answers.
globe, too. Think about this.
Questions.
This is one, a lot of people have a hard time with this. So if you're here on the equator, you're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, because the Earth is about 24,901 miles around. Just over 1,000 miles an hour will bring you around once a day. Even though it's once a day, it's still 1,000 miles an hour. 1,000 miles an hour is 1,000 miles an hour, okay? But if you were 1 mile from the North Pole, you'd still go around once a day, but that circle would only be 3.14 miles, right? The circumference of that circle. So you're going less than a mile per hour. You're going like an eighth of a mile per hour, okay? So if you're sitting on a runway up there on a globe and you fly to Ecuador, remember before the plane takes off, you're moving like a quarter of a mile an hour to the speed. You fly to Ecuador, and you want to land on a runway that's north-south in orientation. That runway is moving sideways at 1,000 miles an hour. Where do you get that sideways 1,000 mile an hour momentum from to land on that runway? And the only answer that you have is gravity. Gravity is holding me and spinning.
Yeah, gravity.
It's spinning me faster. It's making me move sideways as I fly forward. Okay. I'm going to use a word that I'm going to bring back, and some people get offended. The globe is retarded. Okay. It's the dumbest thing ever. Am I allowed to say that on your stream?
Yeah, you can say whatever.
The globe is the dumbest thing ever. It's so dumb that people refuse to look at it, because once you see it, you're like, wow, how did I ever believe that? It's complete and total. Good.
Yeah, somebody in the chat said $70K on stake. Get out the chat and go on Zoom and get that free money, or there's nothing else to say. Let's go. Like, if you think that it's round, like, yeah, that's easy money.
A globe, not round. A coin is round. A pizza's round. A table's round.
A globe. Oh, wait, hold on.
What's the official shape of the Earth? A sphere or an oblate pair? Spheroid, or whatever they call it. An oblate spheroid. Nope. The official story is it's an oblate spheroid, like a pear. Okay. That's what science wants you to believe. It's a little fatter at the bottom, a little chubbier, as Neil deGrasse Tyson, the failed actor, says.
Neil Tyson.
Yeah. He is
okay, but
actor. Go ahead.
Do you think that we think that because, like, when we look out there and we see like the sun and the moon and stuff like that, they're around like what? Because like,
okay,
Saturn.
Yeah. Well, right. Stop. You have too many things. I got answers for everything you just said. You asked like 5 questions. One, the sun is clearly going away here. This is taken in, I believe it's Afghanistan. I thought it was Africa, but it's actually a soldier took it. And the sun is clearly just going away, right? As Paul McCartney said, the fool on the hill sees the sun going down, but the eyes in his head see the world spinning round, right? The sun is clearly going away. And this is another one. You have to believe that we're falling over backwards faster than the speed of sound, and the sun is staying still. And that's why you think that the sun is going down, because you're falling over backwards faster than the speed of sound. Dumbest thing ever. Dumb. Right? Excuse me.
Was flat. And
here's the sun just going away, and I put clouds in here, and perspective brings these clouds lower and lower. They merge with the horizon. The sun just goes beyond it, and it looks like it's setting, but it's just going beyond something that's above your eye level. These clouds here are 5,000, 10,000 feet in the sky, just like this one is, but they're 20, 30 miles away. They look like they're touching the ground. The sun just goes away and it sets like this. It sets. And that's just perspective. That is just perspective.
Whoa.
Yeah. The sun sets here. Let me show you. I did if I could find it. I did an experiment. I call it my flat earth kitchen, right? And it shows you how perspective works, what we see when we do this, and how the sun appears to go down. And again, there we go. Got it. All right. So here's my kitchen. This is my flat earth counter. And here is a line that's level. And I showed that it was level in the full video. And I'm just moving my sun along the line straight and level. And we're watching it from what I call a celestial point of view up at the height of the sun. So we can see that it's going straight. Yeah. Here is, we can call this a cloud deck or a mountain or whatever. It's just something that's above your eye level if you're on the ground. But here we're showing it's going level. Now, the next view is from the table, from the flat earth counter on the other side, looking back, looking up, and it looks like this line is going down. If I showed you this first and said, is this line level? You'd say, no, it's going down. And if I zoom in on it even more, well, look at the line. It looks like it's almost going straight down. Look at this line. This is a level line. This thing is not going below this. It's just going below due to our perspective. This line looks like it's at the horizon level because it's in the distance. And here it is going away. Real sunset. Look, watch this. Real sunset, look, it's setting not behind this horizon, but by this atmospheric horizon. That's where the atmosphere becomes opaque and the sun just goes beyond it. Watch, it's going beyond it. This is opaque. This is opaque. It's just going beyond it. That's how the sun sets.
That is wow, because you can see that. Like, because I always go to the beach and I watch the sunset. And just from looking up at it, yeah, it would seem that it was it's going down, but seeing it like that and seeing you do that line, yeah, it's going away.
It's going away. And now watch this. Looks like the sun's setting, right? It looks like it's setting. It's starting to go below. But watch this. This is a super zoom camera. Our optics and this line on the water proves that the Earth is flat. You can't do that on the curve. But when you zoom in, you're opening up this space, and look, you can see that it's not setting. It's just due to perspective, all right? And it just goes away, and then the atmosphere becomes opaque. The atmosphere, when you're on the ground looking forward, let's say 30 miles away, it gets too thick to see, or 50 miles.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, 100 miles, we'll say. And then if I was up 100 feet in the air, maybe I could see 110 miles. And if I was up 200 feet in the air, maybe I could see 125 miles, right? Higher up I am, the farther I get, the thinner the air is. So I call that the atmospheric deck of opacity. So anything beyond this is opaque. But the problem is where my hand is, because it's far away, it looks like it's down here. Perspective brings this atmospheric deck. And then so you have this atmospheric deck, the sun is going away, it just goes down. And then as soon as it passes that line, it disappears. It just disappears.
You really freaked my mind out with that one. I'm just like, no.
Yeah, now you got to go tell your son, all right? And it ain't gonna be easy because he's gonna fight you on this.
So I'm about to go I'm about to go do that myself later on. Yeah. I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna see when they get that point right there. I'm gonna zoom in.
But
close.
hang on. It's different every day. If you go and the cloud, see how these clouds are up here and these clouds are down here. Well, they're all at the same height. But sometimes if the cloud gets thick, it'll go beyond that, and then you won't be able to zoom in because it'll literally be eclipsed by opaque clouds, and then you won't be able to zoom in on this, right?
Yeah.
This isn't the real horizon. This is an apparent optical horizon. That's not the horizon. There is no physical horizon. Crazy, right?
Crazy. I mean, not crazy. It's just you would know it was a lot of things outside the box, but then it just get more interesting to me.
Right. So check this out. So I get to watch the sunset not over the water here. I get to watch it sunset over the land. So I have my drone, 4K camera, super clear day, freezing, winter, right? It has to be 30 degrees below freezing. So there's no humidity in the air and it has to be super clear. And I watched the sun went down, 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 down. And if the earth was a ball, it would just keep on going. It went from way up here to here in about 5 minutes, and then it stopped. and it just sat here. And now this is super sped up. For 10 minutes, it just sat there. And instead of dropping down below the horizon, it disappeared into the soup of the atmosphere. Here it is again. Watch. It just disappears into the soup. It doesn't go below, all right? It doesn't go below. And the way we see the sun is like this. I have a dome, a glass dome, like a snow globe on top of a little white rug, and I'm moving light across the top. And if you look in the dome, there's this amazing looking sun inside of the dome. It's amazing. And it doesn't go below the edge. It just stops and it fades away because I'm bringing that light away, right? Watch, the light's going to come back. As it approaches, the sun will appear on the horizon. It'll rise. We have our beautiful day. The sun comes over our head and it goes away. And then it never goes below. This is like the horizon here, and it just fades away. Okay? The sun doesn't go below the earth. You have apps that'll say, oh, the sun's there. Oh, the sun's below the horizon. No, it's not. It's just away. And they've wrapped the whole thing around a ball, just like you can do with a flat photo in Photoshop.
That like, what made you come up with that test right there?
Because that we test out, the way we see things. We all have our personal atmospheric dome. So this is a program that shows you how reflections work. So you have a source light. And so we all have our atmospheric dome of vision. We see things as far as the atmosphere will let us. And so as we move the light, this point is where the sun is. So as the sun starts coming over, everyone's in a different time zone, right? Here is noon right here. This is, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 4 p.m., whatever. This is California. It's morning in California. It's afternoon in the East Coast, right?
Yeah.
And so that's how we all see the sun, because the sun is small and close, and we have our time zones. And everybody sees the sun in a position apparent to their own position. Like if you and I were sitting at the beach and we were looking at the sun, setting, just like this, I would see this line coming right to my feet. And then you'd be over there and you'd see that line coming to your feet, and we wouldn't see each other's line, right? Because we all have a personal relationship with the sun as it walks on the water. Interesting.
Good. I've never thought about that. Yeah. So I could never, unless I stand behind you, I probably can see the sun shining at your feet.
Yeah. Right.
That's way out.
And then also, when we look at things, you said before, well, those other planets are around. I don't care if they're around. They're not, but we'll get into that. But I say, look at the lights in your ceiling right now and describe them to describe the floor below your feet. The lights in the ceiling have nothing to do with the shape of the floor. The pools on a pool table have nothing to do with the shape of the pool table. You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
And so when we see things, our mind is, we perceive things differently. One thing is the way we see in a circle. We see the same distance in all directions. Okay. So if a guy's standing here, this is the limit of his vision. This is the limit of his vision. This is the limit of his vision. It's the same distance to all of these points. But if you put a line across that, because you can see farther across the sky, well, your brain will go, oh, it's a globe, because that's what I've been programmed. That's the edge of the curved horizon.
Yeah.
This is not. It's just the limit of your vision. You see in a circle, right? Your mind will make up shit, okay? I'm going to show you a picture right here. Are these tables the same dimensions and same size? Yes or no? Could be a trick question.
No.
They're not. They're exactly the same shape and same size. Your mind can't figure that shit out.
No, it was a chop right there or something. That was a cold chop.
Matter of fact, I printed it out and saw it myself. I cut it out and did it myself, and it is crazy.
Yeah, your eyes be lying to you.
No
like
cut.
All your other senses.
Yeah. Well, it's not lying. It's we see what we want to see. We see what we've been taught to see. You show a small child something new, they're gonna see it and they're gonna interpret it for the first time.
Yeah.
Okay. Like you have to get all these things in your head, and your mind has been programmed to believe in the helio-nonsensical BS model. Right? What are we seeing here? Okay. The sun is 93 million miles away in the BS model. Okay. I see the clouds above, below, and around that sun. That is crazy. What are we seeing? What are we seeing?
That it's a dope video. I can say that because that looked clear. That don't even look like a sun. It looked
That
like
is the sun just during a storm. During a storm, and it's manifesting in that area. Okay. There's no way that's 93 million miles away. People don't even understand.
Yeah, don't. And that's another thing. So how far is it actually? Do we even really know?
The sun? Yeah, it's close. It's I think it's about I think it's a lot closer than other flat earthers think. But here's the sun, right? I'm showing you this is the giant sun. And as she moves away, barely going, 150 yards, look how much smaller it gets. Okay. This is due to perspective, right? Perspective makes things smaller. So watch that. Let me grab my props here. And look, so in a period of, I don't know, 150, 200 yards, it went from this to too small to friggin' see. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So if the sun was right above the earth, a mile over your head, it would look like this. You look up and fill the entire sky, right? If I move the sun 1 mile over your head, it would fill the entire sky. Agreed? Say
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree.
Okay. And as I move it away, it gets smaller due to perspective really quickly, right? So they tell us the sun is 93 million miles away. 93 million miles away. Okay. So if the sun is 93 million miles away, if I made it double that distance, how much smaller would it get?
A lot smaller.
A lot smaller.
You'll
Okay.
probably barely be able to see
And so
it.
there's a thing called very good. And things get so small that you can't see it. Like if I was holding a human hair right here, could you see it? Probably not.
Nope.
It's probably too small, right? But if I brought it up to camera, maybe you could see it. But it's called the angular resolution limits of your eyes. So you can scientifically prove doing math that if you move the sun 3 times the distance, it would be too small to see. Okay. 3 times the distance, it would be too small for your eye to see. So now let's just be safe. 24 times the distance. There's no friggin' way you can see the sun. 24 times the distance is 3 light hours. No, 2 light hours, right? 2 or 3, whatever. We'll call it 3. 3 light hours.
3 light hours.
3 light hours. That's a lot because the sun is 8 light minutes away. 24 times 8 is about 3 hours. Okay. If I'm doing that math right. So it's 3 light hours away. Impossible to see the sun. Okay. Let's talk about the North Star, Polaris. Polaris, they say, is 46 times bigger than our sun. Okay. So we'd have to do 46 times 3 hours to make to say that we'll call that 6 light days away, right? Did I do that right? 42 days times 3 hours. Yeah.
6
light days. And you scientifically proven that you cannot see Polaris. If Polaris was 6 light days away, you could not see it, period. Impossible. It's 433 light years away. And you can see it with your naked eye. And it never friggin' moves. Okay. Go out and find Polaris. It's right off the Big Dipper. Mark where it is. Like, get out. I did this as a kid long before I thought that was the coolest thing ever. We're corkscrewing through space, but Polaris never moves. So I got a pipe and I nailed it to a tree that was right next to my house. And I looked through it and there's Polaris. And anytime anyone comes over, I go, "You want to see Polaris?" Look through the whole pipe. And it stayed up for a couple of years. Summer, winter, doesn't matter. We're 186,000 miles on the sun. We moved 4.4 billion miles chasing the sun that year. Polaris never moved from that pipe. Okay. How the heck is that possible? Right? That's insanity. Right? But they tell us the answer is, well, it's so far away that there's no parallax. But meanwhile, they say that they can tell the distance of stars by the parallax from 6 months apart when we're on the other side of the sun. But they ignore the 4.4 billion miles that we moved in the meantime. They're making up shit and they're laughing. Hey, let's say this dumb shit and see if they believe it. Right? And then they're just laughing. You know about the Georgia Guidestones?
Yeah, I heard about them.
Yeah, besides having the New World Order marching orders on them, they have a little hole. There's a little hole right there, about a nice little 1/4-inch straw hole. And if you look through it, guess what you see? You see Polaris, right? If you do a time lapse, Polaris spins around it. It never moves. These things were put up over 40 years ago. 40 years times 4.4 billion is the number of miles we've chased the sun. through the galaxy. We've gone around, we're spinning, we're moving sideways even more distance than that, but Polaris never moves. Somehow it mirrors our.
Wait, so Polaris, you only can see it at night, right?
Well, you can't. It's up during the day, but you just can't see it
Yeah.
because the sky is fluoresced and it's blue, and you can't see
So
through it.
soon as nighttime come and you're able to see it, it don't move. It
never
stays
moves
there all
ever.
night.
Never moves ever. And people go, whoa, how come I can't see it from the South Pole? You know why? Because you're too far away from it in the South Pole. Just like when I go to Vegas, I was in a hotel. Was it the Bellagio? The hallway is so friggin' long. If you go to one end of the hallway and you look at the lights at the end of the hall look like they're touching the floor. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and if you kept going farther, you wouldn't be able to see it. Right. This is what I say. Imagine you and I are in a room with 10-foot high ceilings and there's recessed lights in the ceiling. Okay. Now we're going to expand that room to the size of Los Angeles. We're going to make it, 20 miles wide. And I'm going to send you 10 miles that way. 10 miles. Right. I'm no longer going to be able to see you. You're no longer going to be able to see me because the ceiling and the floor are going to touch in probably less than a mile. I have to do the math on that. And we won't be able to see each other. Now, if I had a super zoom camera, I could open up that space and see you. But our eye vision, bam. Now I say, all right, look up at the stars in the ceiling, the lights. And we're going to look up. We're going to see completely different lights because you're farther away. The stars are circling around us over the flat Earth. And people in the outer South see different stars than we see in the inner North. Get it?
Yeah, that's a lot to take in, man.
It is a lot to take in.
That's a lot to take in.
How many stretches of flat water does it take to make a sphere? Right? With the size that they tell us the Earth is, there's a curvature. And now, Bill Nye, the line guy with the bow tie, told us that, the Earth is so big, you can't see, you'd never be able to see it, but you see boats going over the horizon. And that's how you know, right? So this camera is 1 foot off the ground, in globe math. The horizon should be 1.2 miles away. We can see this rig, which is 9.4 miles away, which there should be 59 feet of curvature. But not only can we not see 59 feet of curvature, the water beyond it for dozens of miles is that same level. There should be hundreds of feet of curvature. A Navy ship can put a pencil-thin laser beam on another ship over 100 miles away. There should be a wall of water over a mile high between them. Okay. A submarine at the bottom of the ocean, the abyssal plain, which is flat, can see another submarine by shooting sonar out. What happens when sonar hits a hill? It bounces back. If it hits a dolphin, it bounces back. If it hits anything, it bounces back. If it hits a submarine, it bounces back. And they're like, oh, there's a submarine. It could see another submarine over 100 miles away. There should be a mountain 6,600 feet between them if it was 100 miles away. What's the sonar? Climbing the mountain, going down, hitting it, and then coming back. Okay? This is what they want you to believe.
Is it because if we knew the truth about everything, it's probably because the power we would hold.
They would lose power over us. So here's the thing. We have, there's so many flat earthers now. There's millions of us, and it is amazing. And every single one I've met, we go to conferences all the time. Matter of fact, we have one coming up in October. It's called Flattoberfest in South Carolina. Anybody that's in that area, there's people coming from all over the country. It's going to be amazing. But all of these people are awake and aware, and they've unplugged from the matrix. They want us living in fear. They want us spinning out of control, lost in space, don't know who we are, where we are, what we are, and just doing whatever they tell us. Okay. They're not here for us. They're here for them. They want us as their slaves. Okay. So that's why they hide this. This is the biggest secret, because every one of those flat earthers is awake and aware and no longer contributes to the fear matrix. They want us believing all sorts of nonsense.
Who is they?
They are funny. You should ask. These are they. These are the World Bankers, the United Nations, the Bilderberg Group. You've heard of some of these. You haven't heard of others, but these are the bloodlines that run this world. Okay, these are the bloodlines that run the world. It's one more thing. You've been in an airplane. Next time you're in an airplane, you're flying at 39,000 feet. look out the left window, look out the right window, and you'll see the horizon, and it's right at your eye level. If you drew an imaginary line, it goes right through your eyes. How the heck is the horizon that you're seeing over 500 miles apart at eye level when there should be a 78,000 foot drop? You can see at 39,000 feet, you can see 242 miles, right? So at 242 miles, there's a 39,050 foot drop. Well, you're already 39,000 feet in the air. This horizon should be 78,000 feet below your eyesight, but it's at eye level because the earth is flat, right? I don't know how many things that you have to bring up to get people to understand. The only reason people believe in the globe is because they're misinformed, they're uninformed, they're unwilling to listen to anything, right? Their mind is like, I can't admit that because my whole life is a lie. But once you accept it and see it, your life only gets better. It's amazing because you take your power back. You no longer play like you're watching the news and they're like Kim Jong-un, nuclear bombs. Boom. You know that's fake immediately. You know it's fake. Okay. Once you know the shit is fake, your life just gets better and better. So
yeah, you begin to look at a lot of things differently. But we can't be open to acceptance. From the jump, we was taught certain things, and we stick with those traditions. We can't, there's no letting them go.
Yeah, are you a coincidence theorist? Let's talk about this. Werner von Braun is the German Nazi that was brought over here to run NASA, right? He was brought over here in Project Paperclip. This is the story that they tell us. This is the official story.
Yeah, I remember him.
Werner von Braun wrote a book in 1957 called Project Mars, okay? About a group of people that went to Mars led by a guy named Elon. In 1957, he wrote a book about a guy named Elon that took people to Mars. Here's Elon Musk's rocket that he wants to go to Mars in. But he tweeted a month or so ago, I want to redesign it, make it pointier. Okay. They're mocking us. Space farce, Starfleet command. Okay. I call it space farce, Space Force. This is the emblem. Look at it. Predictive programming or mockery. Which one is it? Okay. Nonsense. Utter, total.
That's
nonsense.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Ain't that the Star Trek
it's
symbol?
All that they use the same. This is the vector, right? It has a lot of meaning to it. It's all nonsense. NASA is not a space agency. That's what I call them.
They sure get a lot of money to go back and forth to space.
$65 million a day, and they've never done anything. They haven't gone to space. It's absolutely insane, right? It's insane. And people just believe this stuff. It's infuriating. It's actually infuriating. So why don't we any questions in the chat? Like, is anybody?
Yeah,
there?
we got a lot. We got a lot of questions.
Let's hit
I was
questions.
just wanting to kind of wait until you were done.
Oh man,
but you do your presentation.
Let's do some questions, and then we'll wrap it up, and we'll get ready for part 2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If y'all want to, how do you want to do it? I can let people into the Discord, and they can ask you.
So people want to ask feel free.
Yeah.
Or they can just type it in the chat and we can do it.
Yeah, y'all can type it in, or you can, how we do. We open the Discord.
You could do it even better. Send the link, that the invitation link that you gave me, and they could jump right on here.
Is anybody? I know Esco. Hold on, I'm gonna send that right now.
Send them the link. And here's the thing that I ask: if you want to challenge me, get on camera, challenge me face to face. If you're not going to turn your camera on, I may answer your question, but there's a lot of faceless trolls out there that just do a lot of silly things. So have some.
Yeah, we don't do the disrespectful stuff here. So
be a man and ask. I'm not any question. Now, hardest questions. Bring them on. And in the meantime, if anyone wants to download the app, let me tell you about the app. It's $2.99. It's less than a beer. It's less than a coffee, and you have it forever. And everyone loves it. Just read the reviews, and you'll see it's the highest rated app in Google Play and in the App Store. There is a pop-up that says, would you like to subscribe? And those are for the people that want more features on the app, more development. Feel free to subscribe or not. You still get everything. Only one pop-up, no ads. You can exit out immediately. It only shows up once a day, like the Earth rotates once a day in your fake world.
So huge.
And check it out. Everybody loves the app, so check it out. And
I gotta share the. I'm gonna share the link in Discord because
Or throw it in the chat on the YouTube too.
yeah, I tried, but it's not letting me do that.
Oh, really?
Small link. No, it just put up something that was like 200 and
Oh,
500.
it went crazy.
Yeah, 500 something.
Well, if you write if you want a question in chat, I'm looking at it for now. Type it capital.
Yeah, go ahead.
Type it in capitals and
Yeah, if you gotta.
yeah.
He say, Mike, no need it. Oh yeah, that's yeah. You know, don't let yourself get triggered in the chat. You guys, because I'm gonna laugh at you.
Here's the thing. People say you're crazy. You know, you can insult me all you want. I just say, is that your best glow proof? Just show me one glow proof. By the way, in your chat, after this is up, all of the trolls that follow me, they're all going to show up there. They're going to comment on everyone's comment, but they're never going to show you one glow proof. Go to their channels. They're empty. They have nothing there. And they just say stupid stuff just to discourage you, to suck your energy out. Don't let them do it.
Yeah, we know them kind of people here. But hey, if you guys want to jump into the Discord, if you're trying to jump into the Discord, that's easier for me to share.
Hey, and Little Rock Brook, it's less than the cost of a beer. And if you don't want the app, don't get it and just remain living in your ball world. It's fine.
Yeah, so let's see. Ain't nobody got no questions out there. Where's the questions at? Everybody was like kind of going back and forth with each other for a minute, I think. Let's see, ma'am. You claim, wow, wait, hold on. What is y'all talking about in the chat? Prove the most, do research, matter in public record. Let's see, Dave, interesting. I think we should have it all. We should all have an open mind, no doubt.
You have no authority to make demands. Prove the earth is flat and stationary. Just go outside and look at water. Look at atmosphere. High pressure cannot exist without a container. Pressure, air pressure. We have air pressure. Water lays flat. Now it's your turn. Give me one proof of the ball.
Can you hear them, Dave?
I cannot.
Say something, Esco.
I cannot.
Oh, how do you? Okay, now I'm gonna have to. How do I share?
Pop the link into the Discord, I guess.
Oh, okay. He said if he was a round earther, he would have tried to come through for that 70,000 instead of running his mouth.
So he's a flat earther?
Yeah.
All right. We're all flat earthers. Some of us know it, some of us don't.
Wait, hold on. I'm trying to be able to. I don't know how to. Man, you're gonna have to add. Okay, what is it? What you got to say? Because I can just tell him because it's not gonna let me put it through to him.
Take I don't know. Put your earphones on your mic. I don't know. I hear something.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I'll go ahead. I'll wait till you're done there.
Yeah, he almost finished.
I just put the link on the Flat Earth Podcast Facebook page post. You can hit it there and join if you want. Anyone go to the Flat Earth Podcast on Facebook under this post. The first comment is the link to join the show. Jump on.
Oh, he just sent the link right there.
I sent the link.
Because I don't know how to, because the link, it came out so huge. I don't know why mine is so different. Probably because you got an Apple.
I didn't put it in the chat. I put it in. Oh, there it is. I just put it in the chat. There it goes. It worked. You might have to.
Oh, okay.
If you want to turn me into a mod, maybe that turns it into a hyperlink. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how. A mod on the channel, huh?
So I
don't see your name.
DITRH. DITRH. That's my YouTube. DITRH. The initials for Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. And there's the join link.
Yeah, I don't see none of that. It didn't pop in on here.
Oh, that's probably because I'm putting a link and it's not showing it. Here, I'll just.
But it should, because I got it open.
Test.
I don't see. Yeah, you got to type something.
Now,
so
there you go. I just wrote test. Make me a mod, and then I'll put it. You see that? DITRH?
Nope.
Come on.
Okay, I got you right there. That was.
All right.
I got you.
Make me a mod,
Okay.
and
yeah, you're a moderator.
Come on, and if you're faceless, good luck.
You're a moderator. Don't be scared to come in and win that 2 Bitcoin.
Yep,
70,000 sound good right now.
It's in. You can click the
70,000. You don't even got to do a PPP loan.
Two Bitcoins. 2 Bitcoins.
Okay, yeah, y'all gotta come in. Y'all can. He put the link in the YouTube, so I'm gonna step out of the Discord because he can't hear you guys.
Yeah, we're going for questions. That if you want to take the challenge, you have to watch the video every day for 2 weeks, and then you can challenge me. All right. So.
Yeah, I mean,
join because they know the Earth is flat, and they there's really, when I go on shows that think, oh, this is the dumbest thing ever, I'm going to embarrass this guy, they literally just give up.
I mean,
you have to make sure they go into the waiting room. Make sure you check the waiting room.
The waiting room.
Yeah.
Man, they ain't
you have to let people in.
2 participants.
All right.
Yeah, ain't nobody in the. There's no one.
All right. Well, people, it's hard for people. It's hard.
Yeah, y'all. If y'all have seen how long it took us to set up this live,
feel free to just type a question in the chat. I think that you have everyone here is a flat earther. I'm going to go on a limb and say it.
Yeah, a lot is not all of them. Not all of them. Let's see. Okay, anybody? Anybody got any questions? Okay, here go one right there. Is there not a large pressure difference between 0 and 3,000 feet?
Wait, say it again.
He said, is there not a large pressure difference between 0 and 30,000 feet? Is
Absolutely.
there a barrier?
So there is what's known as a pressure gradient, but air pressure needs walls to push on. It needs a container. You can't have air pressure without a container. We can take a bottle, a cylinder of gases, and at the bottom they're more dense than they are at the top. But you need a container for air pressure.
And he said, okay, so at what magical pressure level does the barrier become necessary, and why?
Well, you need a barrier at all levels, because if you didn't have a barrier, gas would compress. Show me an experiment where you can have pressure without a container. If the second floor of your home was a vacuum chamber and there was a valve coming through the ceiling, and you open that valve, it would just instantly equalize. And we can show you where it's done.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, we can. What's up, Flat Earth? Are you a flat earther?
Do you know what? This is an honor for me, Dave, to be able to speak to you.
Welcome.
Thank you. You're doing grand work, and I'm trying to keep up with you, mate.
All right, appreciate that. Thanks.
Hi, David.
What's going on? Are you a flat earther too, Rand?
No, absolutely not. I have something for you.
All right, go shoot.
Okay. I'm saying that Earth is alive because it produces and reproduces plants, animals, and humans, and other life forms.
Everything.
Right. And in order for something to be alive, there needs to be a root.
A root.
Yes, a root. And when there's a root, there is ground. And that's where many flat earthers can exist.
I'll mute you for a little bit, Joseph.
because Earth is alive and has a root, and that is what is a ground, and that is what is ground. And to go beyond that, because the Earth is not just a root, the Earth is being a root. The Earth is being what root is, and is able to reproduce, and that allows the Earth to be a plant where things are growing and things are blossoming.
So if I can summarize, the Earth is not a spinning ball flying through a space vacuum.
The Earth could be that. I have not
Come on, man. There's lots of mythologies that talk about the tree of life and that we're in the tree. I'm down with that. I'm down with all of that. Again, these are things that we need to expand. Tomorrow's video on the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac clock app is amazing. It's amazing. It's a Freemason talking about what the Earth really is. It's pretty telling. I like it, and you'll like it. It might go with what you're talking about. It might help you expand your idea. Well,
Freemason.
Dave.
I got a question.
Go ahead, Joseph.
So I can't remember the woman's name. Well, I just wanted to bring up Terrence McKenna always talked about when he had a breakthrough on DMT that he would fly out of the dome. And you can ask others, did you see the dome? So is that where we're going when you're breaking through? Are you blasting through?
I always wonder, like, if you're on DMT or some psychedelic, which I believe does expand your mind, some of it might be your perception. Like if you took a flat earther and a globe earther up to, if you can get up to 300,000 feet and you look down, the flat earther would see the circle of the earth and the globe earther would see a sphere. It's because it's all of what you perceive. Right?
Well, yeah. And it's funny because like you say, like the stars don't change. And if you take like a light dose of DMT at night and you look up, it adds depth to the sky and it looks more like you're looking at a dome and there's just pin spots in it and there's light behind. Do you get what I'm saying? Like there's a blanket over us, like we're in a giant greenhouse.
Very possible. There's a lot. Here's something that flat earthers know for sure. We know that we don't know a lot. Okay. Globe earthers think they know everything and they don't know anything. So there's a lot to learn, but one thing that a lot of us have different agreements. Some people think there's no dome. Some people think there's an infinite plane. Some people think there's ponds, circles, that we're the only thing. Okay, we can have these discussions, but we all know it's not a spinning ball flying through a space vacuum. Once upon a time, there was nothing. It exploded, became everything. All of the rocks turned into balls, and all of the gases decided to turn into bigger balls and light on fire and left a vacuum in between. Nature abhors a vacuum. That's a problem, okay? You can't have a gas ball floating in a vacuum in a perfectly timed, beautiful system that we can predict where everything's going to be forever. Except recently, the two eclipses didn't line up like they were supposed to.
I just wanted to say one more thing, if I could.
Hold on, Brock. He almost done.
Just reading a lot on people's encounters with aliens, if you agree that they're real or not. That's at the point. But like the Greys would say that we're you in the future. We just come from we come from a different spot on the plane of the same plane that you're on.
Extraterrestrials come from outer space across the plane. Right?
Yeah.
And they also could be below us. I believe there's shit going on below us. Okay.
I'm laughing because that shit makes sense when you think outer space, out of this space that's right here.
Booker, all of the biggest telescopes in the world, besides being owned by the Vatican, they're all in the outer southern lands, and they're not looking up. They're looking out. They're all looking south, away from the center. What the hell are they looking at? Why aren't they looking up?
Yeah, and there's a lot of evidence that the Nazis escaped down to Antarctica and, Admiral Byrd and all that.
Do you know who lives here?
Brock got a question.
The first time he went down, he left all his planes and shit, and then he went back. And then he said and then there's all that theory that, they saw these blonde haired people, and everyone's always saying, there's blonde hair, blue eyed people on these spaceships.
Yeah.
And they look like they're made out of soda cans. You know what I mean? They're like aluminum.
Right.
It's not, it's
Hey, but Brock,
the Nazis escaped.
Brock got a question. You got to hold on.
All right, go ahead.
Sorry, guys. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Joseph, let Brock ask this question.
Okay.
Brock.
What is Earth?
Earth is... That's a great question, dude. The Earth is it's a realm where we live in. It was created for us, and we are part of it. It's a dielectric plane inside a toroidal field, and how it was made is beyond my pay grade.
I asked you a question because I know that answer.
What's your answer?
Earth is a dimension. It's a dimension. No. It's a dimension which is actually hell. Ancient word for hell, right? We are living in different layers of dimensions. Earth is a borderline between heaven and hell. That's why a newborn can get his or her blames blown out. And people blame, where was God? Who is God, right? This is hell and heaven. Now, when you die, you can descend or ascend to a different plane existence. So all of this talk about this realm, we don't know.
Absolutely. And I'm with you 100%. I believe there's a lighter, heavenly, non-physical realm above us, very close. And I believe there's a more dense, hellish existence.
If you take your hand and you put in your face like this, that's how close the spirit world is to us.
Absolutely, 100%.
You have so many spirits around you that it's way more than humanity, than humans alive.
So, Brock, what I hear you saying is we don't live on a spinning ball flying through a space vacuum.
We live on something that's greater than what we are trying to discuss.
Thank you. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So,
that's the start.
Can I bring in a question here, please, guys?
Hold on, Flat Earth. They almost done.
I'm sorry. for us,
here, Stuart.
For us to try to figure this out, it's entertainment.
It's
all entertainment.
I think that what about this? So you believe there is a creator? Well, we'll just leave it at that. And I believe that we're here that we have a spark of the creator in us. I call it our soul. And we're here to expand the mind of the creator. And our job here is to try to figure it out. Try to be good to the person.
Not everyone has a soul.
I totally agree with that. Look at the Clintons.
Everything has a spirit.
I think,
not everything has a soul, but everything has a spirit. Even a roach has a spirit. An ant has a spirit. Everything is spiritual in this plane existence. But not everything has a soul. Not everyone has a soul.
But when you say it's you said that it's what was the word you used? Trying to figure this place out. It's what? It's fun.
It's entertainment.
Entertainment. But I don't like that word. I don't like the word entertain. But it's entertaining. And it's also, I think that's what we're supposed to do, to try to figure it out, to try to honor the creation. Here's what the elite, that I hate calling them that, they don't want us in a position where we can't deny the fact that this place is created. They want us in a godless or distant God, scary place of lack and fear. They don't want us in a place knowing that we're safe and knowing that nobody has dominion over us, knowing that we can do amazing things. They don't want us in a position where we cannot deny the creator. And once you understand what this earth is not, you understand that there is a creator, period.
Okay, Brock, you got to let somebody else go real fast. So we come back to you. Let Stuart, because y'all going to go for a minute. Y'all go. Let Stuart go and then ask his question.
Right, well, Dave, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, not a lot you can tell me, really, being a flat earther for a long time. But my question is, have you had any glober that's come up yet with the perfect explanation, which will go on about regarding air flights on a north and southerly direction landing?
So
have we had any good explanations? Because obviously, we're moving with the invite,
right?
But I can't get how could a plane then find it sideways?
Yeah, well they just say gravity and the magic gravity. But we had a pilot put out a video, and it was a shill. You know, this is a big channel. And the guy put out said he's going to fly a plane from Perth to Buenos Aires, which isn't the route that they take us. You know, the Perth to Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
Is you know, this is the way Perth to Buenos Aires. Oh, that's Los Angeles. Hold on. Where's Perth? Perth to Buenos Aires. Here's Perth to Buenos Aires. That's the shortest trip. But in reality, this is the way that they go. They go all the way up to Houston, LA, Sydney, and across over here, Europe, Singapore. And he said that he's going to make the flight. That we just, you know, get someone and challenge, and we just have to pay for it. So we challenged him. He's like, okay, let's do it. He's like, oh, I'm not a booking agent. You know, you got to figure it out yourself. You can't. No one can make that flight. It doesn't. It's not done.
No, but I'll say my biggest argument with Globers is that nobody, to me, has been able to explain. Is like you say, if you've got an Earth spinning underneath you, and they're saying we're going around with the atmospheric sort of like surroundings of a globe, how the hell does a plane land on a north southerly facing runway having to do
1,000 miles an hour sideways? It's insanity.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. So where does it get that sideways motion to follow the Earth around sideways plus forward to get down onto the runway?
Right. Imagine a sidewalk, a treadmill moving at 10 miles an hour, which is pretty quick, or 5 miles an hour, and then running across it. Step on that thing, you're dead. You're on
dead.
Your neck. You broke your neck. Okay.
Yeah. As I say, I just want to find a global that can come up with the perfect explanation as to how an aircraft lands on a north southerly runway.
Can't. You can make up nonsense, and you could do some math that might explain it. But you know, math is just math doesn't describe reality. Math can describe reality, but it's math.
Yeah.
Well, math, science, physics. I'm like, what math, science, and physics? They don't have any.
Brock, you ready again, Brock? What was?
Oh man, I'm ready.
Look.
You see me? I'm ready.
Like you ready? New people here. I haven't seen none of you. I said, where's all my people at? They usually be on Discord.
Man, look, I've been listening to you since like a long time. You, and I'm not trying to shut out nobody, but Shaman Oates.
Yeah.
And you guys, DMT, the spiritual world, I've been dealing with spirits all of my life. I'm 41 years old, and I've been dealing with spirits all of my life. That's how I know what this place is. Because what I would do, I would have sleep paralysis since I was like a child, maybe like 4 or 5. And I would come out my body and I would fly around as a child. And I would see these umbilical cords that I further, like later on in life, knew that they were umbilical cord that's attached to everyone.
Silver cord, right?
Present and future. So, and I seen beings that told me things. I seen blue orbs that shut me down and had me tied down.
Did you ever fly up high enough to see what the planet looked like?
I flew high enough to know that there's 8 planets in one like sighting. It's like one sighting, but you will see 8 of the same, and they like parallel. They're like parallel. And I also seen the dimensions in these layers in the underworld of these dungeons. So that's how I know that the dimensions. Earth is a school. Earth is where the ancients teach us that we should learn and get out and never come back. Now we can't.
I know. Look. I know. I feel you on that. I get it. But we like, this is like, is the Earth flat around discussion? After that, you got to start joining the Discord so you can come in and we can have this talk, because I want to dive into that right now. But we'll be on here an hour talking about.
Yeah, you're right.
So we gonna stick to the flat Earth thing or around right now, and try to keep it on topic.
Okay, we'll keep it on top. To keep it on topic is round as far as below. Now there is a dome. The ancient talks of a dome, but it's not like flat and void. How people think it's like flat, like thin, like a thin pizza crust.
Yeah,
you have this foundation that's underneath, because there's a world inside of this world. Inside of Earth, there's a whole different world.
Yeah.
In which they deal with the ant people.
Yeah, okay, yeah. What you think about that, Flat Earth Day? What about the inner Earth? Like
inner Earth.
So inner Earth, not a hollow ball, because a hollow Earth ball is just still a prison for your mind. Yeah, there's layers below us. There's worlds below us. Don't know what they are. Could be exactly what he's saying. Could be hell. Could be mud flooded stuff. I don't know. But there's stuff below us that's going on. To think that we are just on the level of existence. No, there's stuff below us. There's stuff above us. But it's in layers, like a layer cake.
That's what I was saying.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Rock, I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Go ahead, Rance. You on mute, though, Rance. You got yourself on mute, bro.
Flat Earth, thanks. Flat Earth is literally translating to reality order. And with reality order comes animals. And the flat Earth theory is based on reality, not it's not based on the Earth being alive, and it's not based on Earth being a producing organism. And when you feel that the Earth is just a realm, or you think that it's reality, then you're taking away all of the physical attributes and all of the life that is on Earth that needs to be paid attention to, like slaughterhouses. That's how slaughterhouses are able to maintain, because most people are programmed to think that that this Earth is on a spherical.
I don't mean to stop you and throw you off, but you, like when you said, see, that's why the animals and slaughterhouses, that's why it's happening, because the Earth is round. That's what I thought you was gonna say.
Yeah, because, well, absolutely, because that's where all things about. We're talking about shapes. We're talking about geometrical shapes that evolve into dimensions, and the flat Earth is based in saying that basically all of Earth is ether.
Yeah. So is that's your proof of the globe?
My proof of the globe is going to be staying where is staying that Earth has a root, and that root is able to, or Earth.
Can you show me that root?
I'm not able to show you that root. It's
all right, so that's not proof. That's not proof. Okay. You have to give me something to prove. I can show you that large bodies of water at rest lay flat. We can see too far.
Let me.
Let Block go ahead. Go ahead, Block.
All right. I'll show you my face in a second if you fucking want to see my mug. But basically, is the moon flat or round?
Are the lights in your ceiling flat or round? And what does that have to do with the shape of the floor? So that's ridiculous. No. But I'm going to show you, Block. I'm going to show you 4 images of the moon, and 2 of them are not round. Is this one round?
No. That's not my question at all.
Okay. It's not.
I'm asking what your opinion on what the actual shape of the moon is.
It's circular.
All right. Now, if the sun is setting for me up in Ohio at nearly the same time as someone down in Florida,
right?
How are we seeing the same face of the moon? Is the moon interfacing with us individually?
So the moon is being projected into our reality from outside of the firmament. I could show you a video where I did a an experiment showing how this works, and it modeled what we see during an eclipse perfectly. So the sun that we see and the moon that we see is not the real sun and not the real moon. It's being projected through the firmament, just like you have a magnifying glass and you're burning ants, and I know you did it, right? It makes a perfect little sun. But then if I lifted it up 6 inches, well, that little thing's gone, but that little sun is still there. It's just in the air, and you don't see it anymore. But that's kind of how the firmament works with the sun. And then we see it, what I call in our personal atmospheric dome. And everybody sees whether that's 100 miles side to side, 200 miles across, whatever it is, we all see within the personal atmospheric dome. And I showed the video a moment ago, but now it's gone, showing how that works. And then we can do experiments that replicate it. So that's my explanation. In the app, there's a button, I think, that's called the personal atmospheric dome, and it shows all different sorts of experiments showing how this works. So yeah, when we see the moon, it's kind of like looking at a television screen. You know, you're one side of the room and the other side of the room, you still see the same thing.
All right. But like, I get all that. And I understand you got an explanation for anything I'm going to bring up. Like, I'm not denying your perspective on reality. So you want to bring up the fact that shit's confusing. That's okay. But I don't understand the need for divisive language. If you have the real information, you should present it in a way which is not trying to persuade people. If you give people actual information and ways of looking at it and proofs that aren't kind of weird and sketchy in some ways, which you can go through, it would take a long time, then they would lead to their own conclusions. Like,
I actually didn't say anything divisive. I said, this is the way I see it. We've done experiments that kind of
no, I understand it's the way
we did experiments that replicate what my theory is. The truth is, the moon is the biggest mystery of all. Go out and look at the moon. I believe it's in the day sky today. It's right there in the sky. You can see blue sky beyond the moon. What is the moon?
But you said the space don't exist.
Space doesn't exist, but the sky is
but like how are you gonna say none of us got any of the right answers and we can't trust any of these people, but you got the 100% fact?
No,
like, I'm not denying.
I did not say that at all. I did not say that at all. I said we don't know a lot, but we're doing experiments that replicate things. We can show you that you can't have pressure without a container. We can show you that the sun and the moon are the same size. For example, if you watch the solar eclipse, they tell us that the sun is 400 times bigger and 400 times farther than the moon. So right here, I have a sun, which is bigger than the penny. And we're going to try to do an eclipse where I move the sun 93 million miles away and I bring the penny through, and it kind of eclipses it, but it's not really what we see during an eclipse. So then we take it one step further. We get a smaller light, which is the same diameter as the penny, which I'll show you in a second. And this is an experiment. So here's this light. It's the same size as the penny, and I don't move it 93 million miles away. So I turn it on, and I bring the penny across right in front of it, and kind of looks more like an eclipse with the ring of fire like we would see. So that doesn't prove anything. It shows you that this is how you create something that looks like that, not with a distant sun that happens to be the same size as the moon, 400 times smaller and 400 times closer. Think about this. If the sun was 400 times bigger, 400 times farther than the moon, going in this helio-nonsensical beehive, the chances of them eclipsing once are infinitely small. But eclipses happen every year, and then they repeat the cycle every 18 years. Every 18 years, the eclipse cycles repeat. That shows you they're not random gravitational bodies flying through an infinite gravitational space vacuum. That's insanity.
Well, also, I am saying that this Earth is a bulb, and that is saying that this Earth is a body. And the proof with that is the reproductive system. Anything that is reproduced has a body. And that's very early elemental just conforming what is true. And for myself, I've created a moment line where things happen in consecutive moments, and I don't know if you've like toyed around or found anything in your research with numbers based on flat Earth. The numbers that I have that I'm talking about, like where ground is, I'm saying that ground is 104 and that root is 103. And if moments are happening in that consecutive order and we're all the way at 104, if ground is 104, and I'm saying that this universe is a ground, I'm saying that all of this that we see in this visible place is ground. And we're able to grow from that ground. And with the ground, we know, like Earth, we know that there are things underneath the ground, just how Brock was saying about the middle world and the underworld.
Yeah. How does that conform to a sphere and not a flat plane? Look at plants, look at trees. They're all growing across a flat plane. They're not growing on a spinning sphere. They're stationary. They're on a flat plane. I agree with most of what you're saying, but you're just throwing the idea that it's a ball there, where there's tons of evidence that there is no ball. There is no curvature.
Well, I'm not saying a ball. I'm not saying a ball. I'm saying a bulb.
A bulb.
Yeah, a bulb.
And we live in the plane through that bulb? Very possible. Watch tomorrow's app video. You're right on target, dude.
But also, do our eye lenses really consist of us living upside down? Because if you take our erectile inside to where we are actually upside down.
Rob.
So you're saying we can't live upside down?
I'm saying how if you take the eyeball, how they analyze the eye, how and actually that we see right side up, but in actuality,
I know what you're saying. Down. I know what you're saying.
So my thing is, how can you bend water?
You can't. I mean, you can bend small portions of water. You can throw it. You can make a wave, but large bodies of water at rest lay flat. And they said this is the upside down water and upside down ship in Australia. Okay, you have to believe that gravity is doing this, spinning through a space vacuum, which is insane. It's insanity. We're on a plane. The construct of this world is up for discussion. We're not on a spinning ball flying through a space vacuum. You have to believe this is going on in Australia right now.
Well, no, in actuality, the reason why we are seeing so many exoplanets is because scientists don't even know where we are.
All right,
because we are flying through the cosmos. We are, space is infinite. And guess what?
How does Polaris never move?
Hold on, guess what? Space is getting larger by the moment.
That's just being deleted.
Space is getting larger. Space is already infinite.
Do you have any receipts for that?
To where if it spreads too much, it'll rip itself apart.
That's all we're saying.
That's what the pseudoscience at NASA say. That's what Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye say. But in reality, we can show you that they're lying about everything, right?
No, space is not infinite.
I'm telling you, space is expanding.
How do you know this? How do you know this?
Because
how do you know it's flat?
And I've seen what I've seen. I want you guys. I'm going to show you guys something. This is what I deal with.
Yeah, sure.
All right, I got about 10 minutes left, but go ahead.
All right.
Y'all see this?
Yeah.
This is my altar where I deal with the spirits. Okay? I got my glass of water. I got my dragon. My dragon guide is my dragon who tells me what I need to know. My candles and my loved ones, right? They do not lie to me. But man will lie to me. Okay? So I'm telling you what I know is that this plane is neither flat or round, actually, because when I talk to my dragon, he looked like he's inside this optical lens and he fades in and out of darkness. But in actuality, he's right in front of me. So all I'm saying, that right there, they say that Earth is oval, an oval shape. So the roundness kills all of that just thought process. Because Earth is not round, they say it's oval.
Watch
spinning on
tomorrow's
an
app
axis
video.
that's
You'll get
tilted.
it. You'll get it. You get it. You're speaking some truth there.
So I'm
Tomorrow's app
saying,
video.
yeah. So I'm saying that this is entertainment. This is a discussion that can last for millions.
Forever.
Because
it's based in ether.
This
It's
is
based in
entertainment.
ether. And
But
there's
he's
one more
just saying,
element.
but I'm just saying though, he's just saying, because I'm telling you, bro, you already know. Okay. You can't, for one, you can't go tell a person that believes that the earth is round that it's flat. You can't go tell a psychedelic user that the earth even exists. I'm just saying. So what does it matter if if it's flat or round?
Exactly.
If you got proof and you're actually showing it, and like I'm seeing it and I'm going, I kind of can believe it could be flat, but I can believe it can be round at the same time. But
exactly.
That is a trippy thing. So I don't know, but I'm like going, golly, I know I'm gonna be looking up some flat earth stuff because the way he showed that sun thing, that kind of blew my mind right there.
Yeah, it can be either or because everything is based on conceptions and perspectives. Like I said,
and we know Dave, but Dave got like a couple more minutes, so let's let him go and just finish off so he can go do his thing, and then
I was just saying, people that want to trust NASA, this is NASA showing them catching a lemon, and you can see that the lemon's not even real. It goes right through his hand. So they're using augmented reality, all sorts of nonsense. So the fact that they're faking weightlessness, that shows them they're not in space, right? The fact that they want you to believe this guy's floating by and we can see the harness and the wire.
I gotta head to work, guys. It's been nice. I'm sorry. I gotta head to work. It's been nice.
Later, bro.
All right, bro.
So, what else?
Yeah, what?
I think that the communication that we all have is flat, and in a moment line is flat. And
here's the thing: we don't know what this realm is, but the realm, I call it a physical simulation, right? We live in a physical simulation, and where we live is flat and stationary. That's provable, scientifically provable, right? It's when you watch the trolls that follow me around, the patheticness that they do. They just try to upset people. Like we have a troll that's in here. He's got 100 accounts. His name's Trillion. Okay. He never has anything other than insults and nonsense. And that's why I keep deleting his comments.
Yeah, like I couldn't see what nobody was saying. I wish you would have said something because people are gonna, like, if they say something that's disrespectful, then it's not gonna show. Either way it go. It's not gonna show if they say something disrespectful.
No. It's not even. There's energy suckers out there, and this guy follows me every single one of my videos. It's his full-time job is to follow me around.
But you gotta let him speak his mind. You gotta let him speak his mind. Don't delete his comments. Let him speak his mind.
Well, what it does is
if he says something, every time he says something like to where he's being kind of disrespectful, I'll hide it. I'll control the chat. But I'm saying, like, all right, like that's what we do here. We let everybody speak their mind, long as they're not being disrespectful.
Listen, I love.
Say what you want.
Listen, my I'm glad that we have Stuart in here, but he's my least favorite person because he's a flat earther. Okay. Just kidding. I feel I want the hard questions. I want people asking serious questions. People like Trillion come in and they don't offer any content. They just take energy out of the show. So I'll leave it up to you.
That's why I was a bit pessimistic about coming in the room.
No, I always say that, but I do love flat earthers. So
the flat earther.
But it's like, it's like people want to believe nonsense, and the globers, the people that really think the Earth is a globe, they just never looked into it. They believe that these rocket ships are real, right? They believe this stuff because they can't imagine a lie so big.
I thought rockets was real. I mean,
look at this thing. This is SpaceX launching the other day. This thing weighs like 1 million pounds. Okay, it's going up with this little flame. Look how high it is. How do we have the side shot? Okay, and now look at the smoke coming off of it. You can see that it's barely moving. This thing. Look at the thing. Now it's gonna free fall. Right? It weighs like 20 or 40 tons. It's falling out of the sky. But look at the smoke coming off of it. Look how slow it's moving. Look, it's even moving slower now, right? This is a balloon, okay? And people want to believe that this is real. Now look how high it is. The onboard camera shows it way the hell up here, but they got a side shot of it, okay? And then watch this thing land. The CGI smoke is laughable, but they present this as real. People will defend it. Watch this little flame. 3 of the engines are going to come on. 2 of them are going to turn off, and then it's going to land perfectly. And watch this camera angle. Who the hell got underneath this thing? Okay. Watch. 2 of the engines are going to go out, and this little flame, this little fire is going to stop this 40 tons falling from the sky. And it's going to land. Watch the smoke. Fake smoke. This is fake smoke. Okay. Look at this thing. That's not real. And anybody that can't see that is just willfully ignorant.
It's all distraction.
Yeah. It's all nonsense.
A distraction from
look, China landed on the moon the other day. Look at that on Mars. This is China landing on Mars. Look. Oh, there we go. They landed on Mars. Okay.
Whoever did that shadow, they wasn't good at that.
That was horrible. But you can tell it's real because they're clapping. And in a second, they're going to be, they're clapping. It's real, right? And they have these face diapers on, so they can't see that they're laughing. They're hugging each other. It has to be real. You can't fake a hug. All right. Any more questions before I go?
Nah, that's it.
I've got thousands.
Unless I know you probably got thousands. We're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to do this again. And
I think with what you were saying there before, Dave. I think it's just generally, isn't it, that to believe one lie for a lot of people is to believe is then to just destroy and take away their base for them, and they can't handle that.
Right.
Which is what I think a lot of it is. It's just to believe one lie. And why? Well, it's all about the why, isn't it? The why the lie. I mean,
they're hiding more land. They're hiding more resources. They're hiding
I'm with you, Dave.
Power of who we are, and they're hiding the creator. Take any one of those that you want, or all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Most definitely. It all, like I said, you laugh there, but Buka. Buka. What are you reading at?
Oh, I'm reading the chat. Sorry. Stuart, I stay in my chat. I stay reading the chat.
Yeah. But when you laughed at me before, when you laughed at me before when I mentioned about a distraction for, everything's a distraction. Everything's a distraction. The lie is a distraction.
Okay, well, we're gonna get off this live, and I'm about to start another. I'm about to start another live right back up.
All right, man.
Well, back to back, yeah.
Hey, everybody, you can find me. You can find information. You don't even have to buy the app. The flatearthpodcast.com. All the information's there, or a lot of it's there. But check out the app if you want something in your hand, something that'll remind you every day at breakfast. Hey, watch this short little video, and then you too will start seeing the world, and life will only get better.
Yeah, and send me the links to that so I can put it in this video description.
I will. You already got an email from me a little earlier.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll just use that. It's got
the email that came out probably at 4:00. No, at 1:00. So cool. Put the videos in there. I mean, the links there. There's also links to stuff showing how Elon Musk is just a fraud and he's never run any company and he's nobody. Other than
you'll see Flat Earth Dave phone number in the channel description.
There you go. Call me with your
David.
All right, guys.
All right. Peace out.
Cheers, Dave.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Love your work. See you later.
Thank you.
The Flat Earth Sun and Moon Clock app. A dynamic new app to teach family and friends about where they actually live. The sky is a perfect clock. The sun measures the hours and days. The moon measures the weeks and months. The star constellations measure the seasons and years. 12/12 or 24-hour clock face, or go hands-free. The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app with new added features. World Time. See what time it is all around the flat Earth. A true Earth compass that shows true navigation across and around the flat Earth plane. Weather. Tap for detailed local weather information. Know what phase and where the moon is at all times. Watch the sun travel between the tropics for the seasons. Select an amazing background. Add your own or have the app change it to a new one automatically every time you use the app. Add a countdown to your next big date. Learn the truth about our world with the featured video of the day. Web button for additional flat Earth related features, from the mythical curve calculator all the way to Tartaria. While talking to friends, easily pull up pictures that expose the globe lie and shine light on the flat Earth truth. Video playlists in different languages. See the real trade winds circling the flat Earth. And clean screen features. Simply click off the items you don't wish to see. The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app is the best tool to show your friends and strangers how our flat Earth actually works.